Those would be the controlled inputs that we have in React, but we might as well cover the uncontrolled inputs. And for this, yes, again, I will gonna delete everything. I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna delete it. And you know what? Maybe I overdid a little bit. Let's add the class, a form, extends, and as always, if you need information from the previous video, this will gonna be available in the resources. All right, component. Then we're gonna do the render. So let's say here render, we're going to be rendering the form. We might as well right away write return, and then we're going to be looking for the simple section. And then within the section, there will going to be form. In this case, we're not going to have the action, but we will going to have few inputs. Now this is going to be type text. And let's say here that we're going to be looking for some kind of name. So if we want, we can add a name. And if we don't, we might as well skip it. So we can just say copy and paste it. And this is going to be email, however. So I'm going to say email. We still want the submit button. And then this is going to be obviously button submit. We're going to write submit. That's going to be my button. Let's save it. What we're going to see so far. So that would be my form, as well as we're going to add a paragraph just to show you how we can work with any element we would like. So I'm going to say hello world in my paragraph. Awesome. How the uncontrolled inputs work is with a ref attribute. So let's say as we're submitting the form, I would like to get the values of text, email, as well as later on, we're going to see how we can work with the paragraph. We already know how we can set up the onSubmit method. So we can say onSubmit. And as you can see, in this case, we're not going to need our state. And we're going to write this dot, then handle submit. That's going to be our method name. And we just need to create this method. So let's write handle submit. In this case, again, we're going to be passing the event. And why don't we take a look at what happens if we run without the event prevent default? So let's AE. However, I'm not going to do anything right now, just to show you that we're not going to be able to work without that prevent default. And in this case, the way we're going to work with these inputs is we're going to add this ref attribute. And for this, we're going to come up with some kind of name. So let's say for the type, I'm going to say my name. I'm going to write my name. And then within the handle submit, I can just access that. And the way I can access it, I can say const name is going to be equal to this dot. Then we have refs. So in this case, I use the ref. But if I would want to access all of them, I'm going to say refs. And then I'm going to be looking for, obviously, my name, since that is the name I set for this my ref. And let's console log it right away, just so we can see that we can access to it. And let's go back. Let's say console log, and we're going to be looking for the name. And again, like I said, we're not going to be able to see anything right now because the moment we click it, the browser refreshes, and that's not what we want. So let's do an E, which would stand obviously for the event, prevent. Then we have default. So that's the reason why we're using it. So let's save it. And now if I'm going to be writing in my first one, which would be name, the moment we're going to click on submit, I'm getting back my input. And we already know that with JavaScript, we can access the value again by using dot value. So let's say if I would want to have the name value, I'm just going to say name value is going to equal to the name value. And we can access any kind of inputs this way as well. And like I said, this should be very, very familiar because this is exactly what we were doing in JavaScript. So let's write name value. And the moment we're going to save it, notice what's going to happen. Well, first of all, we're going to be able to type. Then we're going to click it. And then I'm going to be getting back this value. Awesome. We know that the refs are going to be working this way. However, we also have an option of passing here the function. Yes, I know it sounds a little bit funky, but we can also do it this way. So in this case, we're going to say ref. So for the email, we're going to use the function. And then since this is going to be an arrow function, I'm going to have the curly braces instead. And here I'm going to set up my arrow function. And the way I'm going to set this up is I'm going to say that this is going to be this dot. Now I need to come up with an email and I need to set it equal to, or the value for this email is going to be whatever I'm getting here as an input. However, in this case, I don't care what would be the parameter I'm passing. Just to show you that anything would work, I'm going to say orange, and then I'm going to set this equal to a orange. And if I would want to access it here as I'm submitting, the only thing I'm going to have to do is again use the value. So how this is going to work, const email, we're going to be looking for the email. We're going to say this dot email, and we know that we already can access the value. I'm not just going to do the simple value, or I'm sorry, simple email, because what's the point? We already covered that. So might as well do right away console log where we have the email value. And the way this is going to work is I'm going to type something here in the name as well as the email. Let's do email and let's say com. And the moment we're going to click on submit, I'm going to be getting back my value. So this would be another option. And obviously you would use something that would make sense. I just passed the orange just to show you that regardless of what kind of parameter we're passing, as long as we're setting this equal to the name that we came up for this ref, in this case, this dot email, this is going to work. And last, I want to show you that we're not limited with the refs to a forms. We can do with any kind of element because we already know that how we can access the DOM. And in this case, I'm going to say the simple one ref. But again, remember, you could have used the function here, but I'm just going to say here, and this is going to be my text, but I could have done the long way, or you know what, not the long way. Let's just say that function way where we pass the function. This would be the parameter, and then I'm going to set this equal to whatever parameter I'm passing here. However, in this case, I would like to show you how we can manipulate the values more. First of all, we are able to access anything we would like this way, any kind of element, as well as we can do the manipulations that we already familiar within the vanilla JavaScript. So let's say const text, and let's say in this case this dot refs, and then I'm going to say that this is going to be equal to the my text, since obviously that is the name that I passed. And let's just do a very simple thing that we already know how to do with JavaScript, where we can use style color, and that's not what I wanted. Style color, and this style color is going to be red. And why don't we right away also console log everything? So name value, email, and last but not least, let me move this one down a little bit. Let's say I will going to be getting back this value. So let's say I would like to select it, move it down, and we're also going to having our text. Let's save that. And the moment I'm going to pass my name, so let's say John, the email is going to be john@email.com. And the moment we're going to click it, first of all, the text is going to turn red, as well as we're going to be getting all our values. And sure enough, yeah, we have the text that's going to be red, as well as I'm getting the whole text, because what's happening right now, I'm obviously getting the whole thing. If I'd want the inner text, let's say, I would need to have the specific one. Remember that was const text value, and in this case, text, and that was the text content. That was the thing we used with vanilla JavaScript. So let's say text value, and again, let's repeat for the last time. John is going to be our value in the input. Then we're going to be looking for email@email.com. And the moment we submit it, we're going to be getting all our values, John, email, as well as the text we have within the paragraph. And that's how we can work with uncontrolled inputs, as well as use the refs in general in our React applications.